Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And this is the match reaction. If you do like what you see, please do smash that like. It really does help the channel with the search. So please do smash that like. Also, if you're brand new at the channel, come and smash the subscribe, be part of this great community. And also the bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. If you want to become a member, it is 99p to join. Just click the join button. And also, if you want to make a donation, you can do via the chat option, hitting the $ in the chat. Okay, right. Where do we start with this? Well, let's start by putting the team news up first of all. And the team news for us showed we had one change, and that was obviously Botman not starting. So we had Byrne moving across to left centre back, and we had Matt Targett coming in to play his first start of the season, and moving to the left backs. So that's where we are with that team. The bench, we saw that Lewis Hall was on the bench, and it was like great. We've got Lewis Hall on the bench, absolutely brilliant. Look, the first 10 minutes of the game, we did start off okay. We played quite well for those first 10 minutes of the game, I thought. But it just seemed after that, Brighton sort of like took control, and we just looked nothing like our usual selves, in all honesty. Brighton were threatening, and then I don't know what Pope was doing, but he came out. I thought when he kicked the ball away, I thought, great, he's cleared it upfield, but it hits Estepinian, who then takes it, and then it goes to Gilmore. Gilmore hits a shot, and look, there's nothing Pope can do about the shot because it's just one of those. It was instinct. Comes back off his body. Evan Ferguson is there, and he buries it in the back of the net. Tap in for Evan Ferguson. Makes it 1-0. And you think, right, okay, let's see a reaction now. We saw little bits, but we didn't see a lot. Joe Linton put a shot past the post. Isak was trying his best to make things happen as well. So we went to half time, and it was just like 1-0 down. And then you sort of think, right, okay, Eddie will get into them at half time and, get them up for it for the second half. Then again, second half comes, and, we seem to not beat the races as such, and then we made a triple substitution 10 minutes into the second half, which, fair enough, because we wanted to get back into the game. We saw Almiron go off, but it was just one of those games, wasn't it? And and then 10 minutes after those subs came on, Evan Ferguson hits a beautiful shot from about 25 yards out. Pope had no chance whatsoever with that. It was way beyond Pope. Superb goal from that 18-year-old again. And we were 2 down. Then we were up against it when we were 2-0 down. And you're sort of thinking, right, come on, I want to see a reaction. Let's try and get a goal back. We tried. Isak was trying, Anthony Gordon seemed to be moved to the right to let Harvey Barnes go to the left. But we didn't see a lot out of him today. But again, we'll get into player reactions and things like that a bit later on in the show. And then obviously 5 minutes later after that, Evan Ferguson completes his hat-trick via a deflection. And then 3-0, you say that's game over. There's no coming back from that. We just did not look right at all today. I don't know what has happened to us. We just did not look right. Yes, people can see we've had a tough start. And rightly so, we've had a tough start. But, And then obviously 92 minutes, Callum Wilson managed to get the ball, dance through and scores and into the back of the net. So he makes a 3-1 and you think, right, okay, if we can get another quick goal, that makes a 3-2. That'll make it interesting, you know. Is there a comeback on you? Could we absolutely snatch a point here, which we don't deserve? But we didn't. And we got what we deserved, and that was Brighton to win the game. Let's get into some comments anyway, by the way, and then we'll talk about other things. BS says, Waffle, Miss Botman, Joe Linton, Anonymous, Miggy, Anonymous, Bruno off the pace, Isak missing that first chance was critical. Absolutely, mate. Tsunami says, even Tony, serious question. Have we been found out? If we keep losing, this sport will be ruthless. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to get onto that, mate. Okay, I'll get onto your comments soon. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to star it so I come back to it. We need pace and defence. Yeah, we do, Jake. We desperately wanted the right centre back and we didn't get one. Ian's. Hi, Ian. Hope you're well, my friend. He says J7 should not have been on that pitch. He was not fit and gave nothing after 5 minutes. That was the issue for us. People slating Bruno, but he didn't have options. When he looked up, there was nobody. True enough, but I didn't think it. To be honest with you, Ian, I didn't think Bruno was that great today in midfield. Honestly, I don't. Toonami says, house subs are predictable. Absolutely, mate. Blakey. Hi, Blakey. Hope you're well. He says, evening, Tony. That was absolute shite. It was garbage, wasn't it, mate? Absolute garbage. Hey, Predator. Hi, mate. Hope you're keeping well. I've not seen you for a little while. And I did ask earlier on where you were because I'm a bit worried about you. So, nice to see you, mate. He says, evening, Tony. That was horrendous. J7 was miles off. Burn needs benching. Hall should have started. Target isn't good enough. Bruno still not firing. And taking Tonali off again was madness. Yeah, you're absolutely spot on. We're going to get into all of this anyway. So I'm just going through these comments. Pope's nervous, you can see, even when he was in the tunnel before he come out. Yeah, I did see a 3-1 Brighton. You certainly did, Joe Linton, and you've got it spot on. Ian says, Target couldn't lace Hall's boots, so why is he playing? Took Tonali off when he was our best midfield. I hate to say it today, but it was poor management by Eddie. Let's hope he can change things up. Well, let's hope so, if he's still here. If he's got the time, that's the thing, you know. Let's hope. Let's hope he's got enough credit in the bank. And, you know, we've got to turn this around. Eddie's got to get this turned around after the international break, certainly. Joe Willock suffered a setback in recovery with a hamstring problem, a new Achilles injury, and will be missing for the last 6 weeks. That's not great news, is it? We're missing Joe Willock, I think, as well, in all honesty. Kate says, very disappointing again, Tony. Newcastle United need to win the next game versus Brentford home, or it's going to get harder to get the 3 points off other teams. You're absolutely right, Kate. You are. It is. It's just. Mickey did the square root of F all and needs dropping, says Ian. Absolutely, Ian. Totally agree. We should have got a right winger in. Paul says, I hope he hasn't lost the dressing room after Liverpool game because today was terrible. That's the thing, has he? You know what I mean? It's that. That's the thing. I'm not in the out camp yet, but you have to seriously question some of his decisions in the last few games. You're left scratching your head. Do you know what, Blakey? You're absolutely spot on. Look, we know there's going to be meltdown on social media. People are going to start questioning: should he be manager? Should he be gone? Look, I think he's done tremendous for us. He really has. But I'm not in the how out camp, not at all. So, but we'll talk about this. I'm just going to go through these comments and then we'll talk. Predator says Almiron needs replacing. Murphy deserves to start over him, but not signing cover for Share or Botman is our biggest mistake, and it's there for all to see. Absolutely, Predator. I said on my pre-match today, before the team news come out, I would like to see Almiron not be starting tonight, and I would like to see Murphy starting instead. That is the thing. I would like to have seen Murphy start instead of Almiron tonight. Miss Botman so much as the question was, why are we signing £67 million of full-backs and not playing them? Get them on the effing pitch. Do you know what, Ian? You're absolutely spot on, mate. We did miss Botman tonight, absolutely. I did say this. Did say we didn't strengthen enough on the first team shows here too. Absolutely. Daniela, good evening to you. She says this was always going to be a tough game. All the teams in the half can beat each other in the top half. Yeah, absolutely. What we'll see is people blaming Miggy again, but no blame. Pope, Share, Burn, Target, and the defence is scared of pace. Do you know what it is, Marco? I'm not just blaming Mickey. I thought it would have been nice to have him had a rest tonight and maybe started Murphy. But look, I'm not just blaming Mickey for this. I think Pope looks very, very nervous. He doesn't look. I mean, I said this last week against Liverpool. Pope looked absolutely nervous against Liverpool. He looked very shaky coming out, kicking balls into the stand. He just did not look himself last week, Nick Pope. And it's continued this week as well. I say I'm part of a WhatsApp group chat, and I did say in that chat at half time, should we actually take Pope off and sub him and bring Dubravka on? I mean, I know a lot of people don't really want Dubravka playing, but just somebody who might have a bit of calmness and assurance about him. Just Nick Pope tonight just did not do it for me at all. I just thought he was really, really poor today again. His footwork is there to see. It's not there. It's non-existent, his footwork. You look at Verbruggen, the keeper for Brighton, you see his footwork. That's what keepers are like now. That they're using their feet more, but Pope just hasn't seemed to have learned anything. Look, I like Nick Pope. I think he's a cracking keeper. But I look at this and think, is this why he hasn't been selected for the England team as well? So that question sort of raises there. I want to see Pope come up in the next game against Brentford and absolutely smash it and stop them scoring. I thought Target was very, very poor tonight. He was absolutely awful, was Target. Fulham and Nottingham Forest wanted him in the transfer window, and we said no. We should have sold him. Why didn't we just put Livramento in at left back? He could have done a better job. I thought he was just all over the place tonight, Target. Done a great job for us when he came on loan. But yeah, he's just not hit the ground running, has he? So yeah, I sort of see that one with Target. Share looked like he pulled up with some sort of hamstring injury, so that looks like he could be out for a while now, which isn't great news either, because we're going to be short of centre backs. We're going to have to play Alex Murphy, I think, at this rate. Burn looked a bit. Yeah, he didn't look right playing at left centre back. He looks better playing at left back, in all honesty. So again, I mean, even with the Target thing, would you have kept Burn at left back and maybe brought Lascelles in to start? It's just, I'm just throwing it out there. I really don't know what the best team would have been tonight, in all honesty. But we know Lascelles has got mistakes in him, but would it have been better playing Lascelles? But there again, as we saw, playing two right-footed centre backs, one at right centre back and one at left centre back. So it's sort of square pegs and round holes. But yeah, we just couldn't keep up with Brighton, unfortunately. That is the thing. We don't have a holder. Tonali and Bruno both playing as a number 8. Teams playing through our lines, and the number 10, absolutely. Ian says he wasn't great, but if nobody's shown to take the ball, what can Bruno or Tonali do? Absolutely. I don't know how many times that we should be looking at Ferguson as a striker. He will be worth 100 million now to some clubs sniffing around. Absolutely, Tangi. What a striker he is. And he's going to be a star. And I think them getting Ansu Fati, that is going to be one hell of a signing. Gareth says, that resultant performance has put me off me pasta. Absolutely, mate. Sydney says, I believe Bruce did recommend Eddie after today. Jake says, can't be sacked after three games. Ridiculous. Well, thing is, Jake, who knows? Remember, Saudis like success. They don't like being behind. And the thing is, yes, we know Amanda likes Eddie Howe. But these people are running a football club that they want to be successful and spent a lot of money on. Um, and sometimes there's no sentiment at the end of the day. And if Yasser Al-Rumayyan has a meeting with everybody and says, look, I'm sorry, we've got to change or whatever, then we have to trust their judgment. Remember, Eddie is their first appointment as a manager. I know what you're saying, you can't be sacked after 3 games. Well, it's actually 4 games this season, but I'm not saying I want Eddie Howe sacked by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just trying to put out there in layman's terms. We know what the Saudis are like. They want success. And the thing is, if the Saudis decide to say that is it, we've had enough, we need to get somebody else in, we have to trust their judgment, unfortunately. We can't do nothing about that. That is up to the club. So we'll wait and see what happens. But we hope to see Eddie Howe in the dugout against Brentford. And we go out there and we go and smash Brentford. And then put all these last 3 games to bed. Predator says, I'm okay, Tony May. Still waiting for the neurosurgeons to give me my surgery date, but I'm not doing too bad. Still alive and kicking. Great to hear, Predator. Great to hear. And let's hope that you get your operation very soon, mate. How's at least a season in the bank? Well, he's definitely got credit in the bank, that's for sure. If we sack Eddie, that would be a disgrace, says Ian. He's the reason we are where we are. Absolutely, Ian. I totally agree with you. Exactly. That's why we are where we are, because of Eddie Howe. Look, he kept us in the Premier League when, by rights, we shouldn't have been in the Premier League. He got us to 4th place last season. Now, one thing I am going to say, and some people may not agree here, but to me, that midfield 3 today just does not look right. It does not look right. If you go back to last season now, midfield 3, when we had Joe Linton, Bruno and Longstaff, I think one of Joe Linton, Bruno, Tonali, but I can't say Tonali because, look, I'm sick of seeing Tonali getting subbed all the time. I mean, if you look back at last week's game against Liverpool, when we took Tonali and Gordon off, you saw on Klopp's face, he must have thought, Christmas has come now. Christmas has come well early. Because as soon as them 2 went off, he stuck Núñez on. There was no way Núñez was coming on that pitch if them 2 were still on. Because he knew the pace of Gordon and the technical ability of Tonali, he knew once they come off, right, we've got a chance here. And he was spot on. But I don't know why we keep taking Tonali off early. I mean, he should have stayed on the pitch, in all honesty. I mean, Joe Linton looked a bit off the pace today, but maybe if he's carrying a knock, then that's fair enough. But I would say against Brentford, do you rest someone like Joe Linton or Bruno and play Longstaff there? Because at least Longstaff gives you that little bit of bait in midfield. He gives you that little bit of defensive stability in midfield. I'm not sure. That's my opinion, I think. Because last year when we had Longstaff playing, we did quite well because he used to stay back and do the defensive work as well. So, not 100% sure, but if anybody else agrees with that, do let me know. Harvey Barnes needs to start the next game. Yeah, Gordon tried, but didn't have one of the greatest games. Just shows last season how we overachieved. Also shows underrated Longstaff and Willock. Absolutely, Paul. Exactly. Lee says, all right, Tony, definitely need a big reshuffle. Need to sort something out. Eddie got sacked. It would be a disgrace for me, but let him sort out the issues. Yeah, I wouldn't be happy if he's got the sack. But I would look at it at the same time and think, I understand why, but I'm not in the how out camp at all. I'm in the how in camp. Because I believe he can become an elite manager, and I believe he can do stuff for us, but he's got to be given the chance. And I'm just worried that the Saudis might not give him time. That's the only problem. Blakey says the Saudis are ruthless people. How will be sacked if results don't improve? That's a reality. It's a reality of any job, any football club. If you don't produce the results, your time's up. BS says we have 3 number 8s and no number 6. That's exactly that. We need a number 6. I mean, I kept banging the drum. Where's the number 6? We know Tonali can play in that number 6 role, but we needed someone like a Manu Corny or a Kefren Turam to sit in that defensive midfield and dictate the play, but we don't have anybody like that, and that is the problem. We also need number 10. Yeah, absolutely, Paul. Not you blaming Miggy, says Mark. Well, I'm just on about in general. I wouldn't get you. No, that's absolutely fine, mate. No, I'm just saying I wasn't blaming Miggy, but I just thought it would have been nice for him to have a rest tonight and give Murphy a chance from the start, but we didn't. The midfield's a mess, says Blakey, absolutely. The way to buy new players, not playing them, just bench warmers, Pope would be thinking about his fingers. Look, I don't know what's up with Nick Pope, but I said last week he was nervous against Liverpool. He looked terrible again tonight. Next game, do you play Dubravka or do you play Karius even in the next game against Brentford? And does Pope have a stint on the bench? Because if you give Pope a stint on the bench, that may make him think, oh, hang on, I'm going to have to up my game now. Because remember, after Brentford, our first games of Champions League after Brentford against Milan. This was always going to be a hard run. The Premier League set it up to get at us. It will pick up from Brentford. Yeah, we know it's a hard run, but again, we hammered Villa 5-1. Look, we should have beat Liverpool. They had 10 men. We were 1-0 up. We should have killed that game off. We didn't, and that is the problem. We did not kill that game off. But the other thing is, have we been found out? Have people worked out how we play? Does Eddie now need to change little thing? I'm not saying change something massively, just change something slight that makes us play that little bit different, where teams won't be able to think, oh, hang on, this is Newcastle. We know how predictable you are. We know how they're going to set up. We'll play something just different that might just make them think. I'm not sure. Ian agrees with Beer. What's scary is if we get another player injured or two, Dummett could play in the Champions League. Yeah, there's a possibility. Rotation in midfield has been worked out, yeah. Paul says, I'm not panicking yet. Let's see what happens after the next 3 league games. As on paper, we should be winning them. But if we still play bad, then yeah, questions will be asked. Lewis Hall needs to come in. Absolutely in. I don't know why he didn't play tonight. I know he's saying he's not match fit. But come on, he's playing and training. Just get him on the pitch. The only way you're going to get him match fit is giving him minutes. When he took Target off for Lascelles, he should have took Target off and put Hall on. Tanji says, I think there are a few egos out there thinking about their Champions League profiles. It's like we are getting 50% effort at the moment. Do you know what, Tanji? You've got a very good point there, mate. Absolutely. We also should have had a pen. Not next to still bad. Yeah, well, it was checked, but it wasn't given, was it? Are you Toon fans concerned your player are more interested in Champions League and forgetting the bread and butter? Do you know what it is, Daniela? That is a very good question. And I'm sort of looking at this and thinking, I go back to last season, the Carabao Cup. When we got the final, we switched off and we had a horrendous run where we just lost games. But the last time we lost 3 games in a row, we'd actually had been unbeaten in 24. So But this time around, we've lost 3 games out of the first 4, which slightly puts a pressure on Eddie Howe. And I think Eddie Howe knows there's a bit of pressure. But yeah, I hope they're not forgetting about the league. Sydney says nobody comes out the game with credit. I want to forget. Absolutely bad day at the office. Move on. If I was Howe, I would sit down with Cher, Burn, Target, Pope and Bruno and say, you are going to get me the sack, and Cher is a disgrace. I mean, Cher, to be fair, got injured and he was playing on with a hamstring injury because we couldn't make any more subs. Lee says the break may be better for us to get sorted for the Milan game. Well, yeah, it could be. Tanji says, not blaming how all players know the blueprint. Absolutely. Preta says, I'll play Alex Murphy, then play Dan Burn in the middle. Tony, love Big Dan, but I do, but he's obviously no pace. He doesn't, you could see he had no pace tonight against that Brighton team. Jake says one positive is he has to bring Hall in now. Yes, he has to. But why can't Livramento start as well? You know? And the thing is, we know Tonali can take a set piece. So why isn't Trippier sharing the set piece duties with Tonali? It's like Trippier's got to take all the corners, all the free kicks. You know? I don't get it. Godfather, evening Tony and chat. When is our season going to start? I'm slightly concerned. Oh God, excuse me. Concerned. I mean, look. Let's not get concerned, but let's think. Let's hope the season starts when we play Brentford after the international break, and we can kick on from there. Let's hope, anyway. Ultimately, decisions are up to Piff on what happens. Well, yeah, absolutely. We have played 4 of last season's top 7, so still too early to panic. Absolutely, Paul. We're not panicking. Amanda, me, dad would have no say in Eddie's fate. No, they wouldn't. PIF are 80% majority owners. They would have the say. Just a bad start. Needs a few changes. Murphy, Anderson, etc. I thought Anderson, when he came on, didn't really do it an awful lot, but he couldn't get into that game, could he? Jake says if they sack managers after 3 games, we won't keep managers for more than half a year. Yeah, well, we're not saying sack the managers after 3 games, Jake, but what we're saying is it's 3 defeats in a row. And one of them defeats could have been a win. It should have been a win, in fact, against Liverpool. Bias says, Howe has loads of credit in the bank. He can sort out easy. Who would replace him? Bearing in mind we have no money to buy out a manager. I'm 100% behind Eddie Howe. That's a good point, yeah. If Newcastle are not looking like they are getting top 4 and out the Champions League by Christmas, I think Eddie Howe is gone. Could well be. Same 100% behind Eddie Howe. Worst case is if he was to go, then I would go for Alonso. Yeah, that's not a bad shout. If Newcastle are not looking like they get, oh yeah, that's StreamYard's repeating questions again. Foxy says, to be fair, I did predict a defeat if we didn't play with a back 3 without Botman. Yeah, you did, Foxy. You got that right. Blakey says, Eddie Howe has done an incredible job and we are Champions League team because of him, but in the longer term, if we want to win titles, I personally don't think he's going to get us there. That's the thing. Sometimes a manager can only take a club as far as he possibly can. I mean, look at Man City. They started off, I know they started off with Mark Hughes, but they started off with managers and then worked their way up. So sometimes you might have a manager who can be there a couple of years and then moves on. Sydney says, no way Howe should be sacked, but he needs to start looking at himself and his decisions and be more ruthless. The thing with Eddie Howe is, look, not criticising him, but he seems to have his favourites. And there's no sentiment in football. And I think to shock a few of these players, I think you need to rotate for the next game and say, right, you go, you, and you. You're not playing, but and you are all playing today. That's what he needs to do. And that way, they think, wow, we're on the bench. We don't like this. We don't want to be on the bench. How do we change it? So, you know, so you could look at it that way. I mean, we know Lewis Hall can play centre back as well. So you could say, right, okay, let's just throw some names in there. So you could say Burn, Share, Bruno, and Gordon. You're all on the bench next game. Next game, it'll be Barnes, Longstaff, Livramento, and Lewis Hall, because Livramento can play left back as well. So there you go. There's your four in the team. Now then, get out there and play well. Now, if they go out there and perform well, they'll keep their places for the following week. So the four that are sitting on the bench will be thinking, oh, we can't get in the team now. So I'm just thinking of how you space things up. So, you know, I'm not saying that that's how it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's those players in particular. I've just picked out those four. Maybe you could say change Pope as well. Put Dubravka in and give Pope a stint on the bench just to make Pope think, oh, hang on, I need to get back and reclaim my number one spot. So how do I do that? I've got to prove I'm better than Dubravka. Tonali and Pope were fell for the first goal. Yeah, Pope was, and Tonali didn't make much of an effort to close that ball down, which he should have. If he had have, then they don't get that goal. Yeah, he was too weak in my opinion. Maybe Tonali, Bruno too similar, says Alan. Yeah, how is going anywhere? If anything, Bruno will be sold before Eddie goes. I think you could be right. Eddie's not getting sacked, but he needs to use this break to look at using some of the talent he's brought in. Absolutely. If he's lost the dressing room, he's screwed. That's always the case. Player power always wins. I just hope that's not the case. Yeah, hopefully not. Nah, he's not lost the dressing room, says Paul Stones. How's going nowhere? Foxy says, no number 6. Is easy to break through with Target, Burn now a back 4. Easy work for Brighton. Doesn't help making mistakes like Pope did for the first. Brighton were very good. They were very good indeed, and they deserved the win. And I said this, we needed that number 6 in, and we just didn't sign the number 6. And that's the downfall. You know, but I don't want us to wait till January. Well, we have to wait till January now to get another number 6 in. J7 was a bit off the pace. He was not useless, but he couldn't run, Tony. No, he couldn't, Ian. He wasn't. I mean, look, if he had any slight injury doubts, he shouldn't have even started, to be honest. He did. He looked. I mean, when he came off, he didn't look right when he came off and had. I mean, all through the game, he didn't look right at all. But this is the thing. Should Eddie have played him from the start? No. Should he have played Longstaff in his place? Yes. If Longstaff had played, maybe Brighton don't get through and get that first goal. I don't know. You know, it's all ifs and buts now. But yeah. Yeah, J7 certainly wasn't fit though, you could tell. I look at using J7 as a 6. He loves attack and gets stuck in. Do you know what? That's not a bad show. He could do a defensive midfielder stint. Yeah, I'm sure he could. We took Tonali off and 2 goals going. People on Facebook, Newcastle pages was like saying replace Tonali. It's like replacing a Ferrari for a Skoda. We know how ruthless Abramovich was when Manchester Saudis want to be different. They want results. Wilson needs to be starting. I mean, look, Isak was trying everything, but he was trying to do it all because there was nobody else there to help him, you know. I mean, look, Burn, Shea could have been sent off in that second half as well. He just wants to thank Tarek Lamptey for managing to get over him and stay on his feet to put a ball in, which could have given Brighton a fourth goal. But for a touch from Trippier, which didn't get noticed, should have been a corner in all honesty. But yeah, Wilson, yeah, I would start Wilson next game. Why not? Yeah. We should be judged how we play against the better teams, not when we beat Burnley and Sheffield United, says Blakey. That's fair enough. It's ridiculous talking how out if we are 2 years behind the plan, ahead of the plan. Again, I'm not in the how out camp, I'm in the how in camp. But I just want to see, I just don't want to see the mistakes we're making where we're taking players off at the wrong time. Like when we took off Tonali and Gordon last week against Liverpool. I think we played right into Jurgen Klopp's hands. I really do. Isak did nothing wrong today. He needed more help. Absolutely, Paul. If we play like that against these Champions League teams, we're going to be a laughing stock. Edison Alvarez was the one to get. Yeah, he was, but we didn't get him. Dortmund have been laughing stock in Germany. They drew again. Yes, they did last night. Lewis Hall can play a 6. Yeah, he can. Isak was doing okay on the left, but then we both Gordon and Barnes. I think our priorities are wrong. No competition on the right. No centre back in case Botman or Share were injured. Looks like Share's out as well now, doesn't it? So let's hope it's not too serious. Mickey has enough grace time on the bench. Yeah. Southgate doesn't get much right, but for not picking Pope was the right call. Exactly. I think that's why he done it. I think that's why he didn't pick him. Foxy Trippier, no protection whatsoever when Gordon switched off the right and was to blame for the third goal. Even worse, to drop off when the subs were made. Yeah, agree with that one. Lee says, New Year wouldn't surprise me if we get a new forward to play alongside Isak and Wilson behind. It's not forwards we need, it's a right winger. Alan says, maybe the time to rest Paul for a game when it's international break. Teams know the way we play, it's not a secret. That's what I'm saying. Give him a rest and put Dubravka in. And that'll, and the thing is, he'll come back better for that as well and stronger. I'm going to stay positive and believe we'll go on an unbeaten run, start picking up the points. I have faith we'll turn it around. We could beat Leeds and Palace at home. All those draws. Yeah, I'm still remaining positive. This might sound outrageous, but Trippier or Livermore on the right wing, then play them both, let them rotate. Yeah, that's another good shout. Yeah, absolutely. Mighty my guy Tony, new breaking news, Willock's got another 6. Yeah, we've just heard that. It's not great, is it? Time to break out the 4-4-2. Tony Ross, even Tony thought we looked tired. We just weren't at the races, were we? Basically. Bad day at the office. Can't believe this that Gordon missed. It wasn't other players you wouldn't hear at the end of it, let's be honest, as Foxy. Yeah, absolutely. No way Howe's under threat. Haven't read as much rubbish. Be safe this season. Oh, look, I'm not even thinking that the R word doesn't even come into it. But we just have to wait and see what happens. I think this touchline thing, Eddie's missing that. Yeah, he is. I mean, look, we saw a part where Paddock sort of like come up to the front of the dugout when Eddie was there, and I was like, no, get back, the referee will give you a yellow card. Mick says, the Pope situation's worrying. Every time he comes out the box, he looks like he's in trouble. Yeah, I get nervous now when I see him rushing out the box. I'm not confident. We'll win the next 3 league games and pick up 9 points on the next 3, says Gordon. Let's hope so, mate, yeah. See where we are after Christmas. Brentford, Sheffield United and Burnley, we should be getting 9 points, absolutely, Blakey. Surely got to be changes for the next game on the lineup because it's all in the Salah Cup, yeah. Anderson was top scorer in the friendlies, he was in form. Yes, he did. Yes. Junior, hi Junior, hope you're well, mate. He says, but did you hear this song? Yes, I did, Junior. It was brilliant. They just kept singing it and singing it and singing it, and absolutely fantastic. Brilliant. You created a brilliant song there, Junior. You see, and it's got everybody singing it, mate. Well done, Junior. So, despite the disappointment, the fans still sang their heart out, and that's the great thing about our fans as well. Missing Longstaff. That's exactly what I said. Are we playing the wrong three in midfield? Do we need Longstaff in there? Yes, Eddie Howe not getting the sack now, but he may not be manager at the end of the campaign, start of the new season. Paul says he will be. We played City, Villa and Brighton. Yeah, exactly. We have players that can play the number 6 role, but it's not a natural position for anyone. Joe Linton would be found out very quickly in number 6. Nearly got caught in possession inside our box. True. Arteta will get the sack before Howe, says Paul. Yeah, probably. Well, if they don't beat Man U, the Murray may too. Isak looked better on the left, but was taken off too soon, says Tony Ross. Yeah, I think he was as well, mate. Foxy says, Howe deserves to see the season out, at least regardless how bad it gets. He's done a phenomenal job. Absolutely, Foxy. Couldn't agree more. I think some fans is forgetting what we can't go. Yeah, that's the thing. We're just getting to. Junior says, could have, would have, should have. It is what it is. We have to get the squad, and have Eddie and his staff took us from 19th to the Champions League in one season. Absolutely, Junior. The guy's done a tremendous job for us. And I'm sure he's got plenty of credit in the bank. It's early doors yet, says Junior. Let's do what we do best and support the lads. Absolutely. I'm not in the Howe camp by any chance. I'm Howe in. I don't want him gone. I'd be devastated if he went. I'm just picking up what other people are seeing on social media and just letting everybody else know the meltdown. Paul said, I think some fans are forgetting we can't just go out and buy all these players once, as we are ahead of schedule and overachieved last season, but now most fans are expecting us to win every game. Don't expect us to win every game. But, we were unlucky at Man City, but again, we played against the best club side in the world, and it was no disgrace to lose 1-0 to City, let's be honest. But it was the manner of the defeat against Liverpool that hurts. Jake says, you could hear them in 30 minutes. Rowan says, see where we are after Christmas. David says, will it go for another 6 weeks? With an ACL according to Craig Hope, the timing is perfectly timed to destroy our fans as usual. Yeah. Can't we get Ginola out of retirement? The shot Gordon missed. If only Miggy was still on the pitch, says Tanji. Yeah. Junior says, yeah, I love to Jake. What a song. Brilliant song. I think it's time to give Karius a few games. Yeah, why not? Keep the faith, says Daniela. Yeah, definitely. Look, we came up against a great team tonight in Brighton. You're a good side, let's be honest. De Zerbi is a top manager. He's going to go to a top club. He could either go to Man City. He could go to Man City. He could go to Liverpool. He could go to Barcelona. Who knows? David says, Craig Hope, 38 million for a DM. Joe Willock has suffered a setback in recovery from hamstring, will be missing for another 6 weeks. Lewis Smiley can play the 6, yeah, but he couldn't play tonight because he played for the academy today, who lost 4-0 to City. See where we are after Christmas, people. Yeah. I'm gutted too, but to jump on how and call for his head is silly. I know you and most aren't. We've been through worse, absolutely, Mick. But you will get the utter ones on Facebook and Twitter and any other social media sites calling for him to be removed as manager. We're grateful for the job he's done and always will be. Lee says, Junior always play the Champions League song going on the A1 driving to Darlow on the weekends through Tyne Valley and looking at the smells on other drivers with a car with the tunes up loud. Nice one, mate. Nice one. He's done a fantastic job, but it's down to what the owners want and hope for. No manager is 100% safe. Absolutely, no manager is safe, and that is the thing. You're absolutely spot on. But look, it's been a bad day at the office. We have played a good side in Brighton and Hove Albion, who are a great team. And um, we don't seem to have the luck at the Amex. The last time we won there was back in the Championship when we won 2-1 with Mo Diarmi's goal and then Jose Perez. But all in all, as I say, we're just got to put it down. It's a bad day at the office. The on fans for wanting how out they are African trolls. Foxy says, still want Pope our number one, but we know what his weaknesses are. Don't want to see him trying passing out anymore. Just hit it out the stadium if you have to. But that's what I'm saying, Foxy. I'm not saying get rid of Pope or anything like that. All I'm saying is, look, let's just give Pope a stint on the bench, maybe. And then he may think, oh, I need to get back in that team. And he's got to prove it, hasn't he? So that's what we need to do. And maybe just give him a bit of maybe regain his confidence a bit. Don't worry about it. Eddie will sort it out. Questioning Eddie Howe's tactics and decisions isn't the same as saying he should be sacked, but some fans go too far. They do go too far. Look, I'm not saying anybody's exempt from criticism because I'm not going to. All I'm saying is I think Eddie Howe's got it wrong the past couple of games on substitutions. But the thing is, look, we need to get this sorted out. Daniela says, have a lovely break. See you all when we start up again. Thank you very much, Daniela. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, look, there is going to be fans on social media who are going to shout for him to be sacked, and they're muppets. But all I'm saying is nobody escapes criticism. If there's constructive criticism to be given out, we'll give it out. And that's what we've got to do, is give that out. But all in all, we weren't good enough today. We were second best to everything Brighton did. We were second best to them. And that is the thing. And we've got a 2-week break now. So Eddie Howe can get in that training ground, get them players in who are still young, not the ones who have gone off. Because obviously Wilson and Trippier are off with England. But what the players he's got there, get them in and say, right, this is how we want to play. He wants to say to them players, I want to go at that game against Brentford at St James's Park. I want us out there and to go and beat them. And that's exactly what he needs to do. Pete's in the chat. Hi, Pete. Hope you're well. He says that was a shower of shite today, I've got to say. Yeah, a long trip, mate, as well, and you've got a long journey back. How long does it take on the coach to get there, Pete? Do let us know. It's the players' attitudes that needs to change. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, would you have took Bruno off instead of Tonali? Or would you have took Joe Linton? You see, that's the thing. I don't understand it, really. Tony says, went off the ball after the players thinking about Champions League. Yeah. Lee says, don't forget to hit a thumbs up for Tony, everyone. Yeah, please do smash that like. It really does help the channel. And also, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe as well. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, it has. It's just been a bad day at the office today. And, the only problem is, yes, we know the Mackhams have won and they're on cloud 9. But, yeah. If Burns starts the next game and he's making a mistake, Foxy says, not really losing the home. Even the best teams have off days. Don't worry, it's a long season. We'll do the treble. Have a good weekend, everyone. You too, Foxy. You too, mate. Yeah, remember, we got another 34 games to play yet. And if we go on a, say, 10 to 15 game unbeaten run, everybody will forget about these 3 games. Evening, says Mason. Good evening, Mason. Hope you're well. Nancy is lovely. Thank you very much indeed, Alan. Yeah, I mean, look, it's not been great today. There's nobody out there. Um, you know, there's nobody out there you can say was man of the match because they weren't. Um, if you give the man the match, you've got to give it to Evan Ferguson. He was absolutely terrific. Took his hat trick well as an 18-year-old, and that kid is going to get better. It's about 5 hours drive. Yeah, but Pete's on a coach, Lee, so he's going to have to stop, I think, a couple of times maybe on the way back because the drivers can only drive for so long, can't they? So that's why I was asking how. Mason says, thank God I didn't see the game today as I seen Gateshead play Oldham, who are managed by David Unsworth. Yeah, you didn't see the game, no, Mason. You can always watch Match of the Day if you want to watch the highlights, but, not a great watch, by the way. But yeah, again, it's a bad day at the office, We've got a 2-week break coming up now. Let's see what happens after the 2 weeks. Let's see what happens against Brentford. Yes, there's going to be Muppets on there on social media showing Eddie Howe sack, get rid. He's took the club as far as he can go. He can't do any more. Get rid of him. Let them have their say. Because in 2 weeks' time, Eddie Howe will still be the manager. And, so let the Muppets have their say. Don't interact with them because you'll only get into an argument and then you'll just get upset with it. So, yeah. I just wouldn't bother getting into any arguments with anybody on social media if they're shouting Eddie Howe out. Don't go on there and say, "Oh, don't be a bellend" or anything like that. Just ignore them, because that's the best way to do it, is ignoring people like that. Piss stops as well on the hard shoulder. Well, you can't put on the hard shoulder, you get done. Tanji says Lewis Miley needs to get some mints too, despite his young age. Look at Ferguson, 18. Absolutely. Pete says, yeah, just had one stop. We'll definitely have another one. Had 2 stops on the way down. Wow. Long night for you then, Pete. You're not back till the early hours, are you, mate? Tony Ward says, all players for Newcastle need respect for those travelling fans celebrating at the end to a poor loss. Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully that might spur them on for the next game against Brentford. Brentford, Sheffield United and Burnley, yes, we should be looking at 9 points. But it's when we come back to face with the likes of Liverpool, we need to make sure we go to Anfield and beat Liverpool. That's what we need to do, Get Man City at home in the Cup. Let's give them a good go in the Cup and see what we can do in that as well. But as far as I'm concerned, Eddie Howe is going to be the manager. I do not want Eddie Howe sacked. I think he doesn't deserve the sack. He needs to stay. But as I say, you just get the monumental BNs on social media who will be wanting him out. Yes, I thought Pete would be hitting the clubs in Brighton. But yeah, you're always going to get the monumental bellends on social media. Anyway, guys, if you like what you see, please do smash that like. If you haven't yet, then please do. Thank you. Also, if you're brand new at the channel, come and smash the subscribe, be part of this great community, and the bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. Okay, guys, so that's it for tonight now. Do enjoy your evening, whatever you're doing, and it has been a bad day today at the office, and but you know what? Just breathe and get on with it. That's what we got to do, and we just got to think, no Premier League for 2 weeks, and then come back all refreshed after the England matches and that, and then say, right, let's hit the ground running and let's go out there. We need to put in a great performance against Brentford and absolutely hammer them, and to say, right, okay, that was a blip, them 3 games. Now we're on a roll. That's exactly what we need to do. After watch out at Liverpool for the shadow. Yeah. I'm not sure what you mean for that, Lee. But anyway, remember the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. And as I say, as far as I'm concerned, this man ain't going anywhere. He's here to stay. So these people need to stop shouting for him to be out. So they need to go and do one, basically. Oh yeah, offside. Yes, I see what you mean there. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, guys, that's the end of the show. But thank you very much for coming on tonight. On what was a bad day at the office, and onwards and upwards. Come on, the two are going to get there, and we've got Champions League to look forward to. So let's not get too downbeat. And until then, see you later, guys. Away the lads.